United States, but he was in Iran when it fell, way back when, and held captive. And he talks about how Americans don't know what they're losing because they've never done without it. Right. And I think there's a lot of truth to that. And then I met a gentleman from Pakistan, and he is here because he was in trouble in Pakistan for distributing Christian books to children. And he thinks that the Lord has brought him here to wake up the American Christians and let them know exactly what's going on. Now, both of them, well, the first gentleman, his name is I've lost it, Darius, and he says he can kind of parallel what happened in that day and time back then in Iran and what's going on here in the United States. And it doesn't take a whole lot of looking into history and research to see that history most certainly continues to repeat itself as the people get complacent and get lazy.
Right. Well, the two things that people tell you: don't talk about a family reunions, don't talk about it in your church. Don't talk politics. Or religion for the most part, or doctrine. And those are things that we need to discuss and talk about. And we've really taken the church, for the most part, out of the equation of politics. I mean, they don't. I've spoken at probably 3 or 4 churches in the last 3-4 years of campaigning. I did speak in a great church in Poplar Bluff the other day, Westwood Baptist Church. And the way he approached it is, he's just going to invite all the people running for office in the 8th District, and they can all come to his church. You give them 5 minutes, let them talk about their campaign, and let the people decide. And churches can do that. Even if you're a 501c3 church, you can invite the candidates to come, invite all the candidates. A lot of candidates aren't going to come to church and talk, but I'm very comfortable talking in churches. Those are my people. I mean, those are people who share my values and my principles. So I have no problem going to church and talking about government and politics and what we need to do. As a matter of fact, I feel a call that's who my message needs to go to.
Yes.
Is Christian people. They need to get educated and involved, because it's so sad when you see Christian people, because of their ignorance, they keep voting for these politicians, and they have no idea, even about Mrs. Emerson voting for embryonic stem cell research, taxpayer-funded, several times, that kills the embryos, and we have pro-life Christians voting for these candidates because they have no idea of that voting record. And that's why I try to educate people about that record.
And, there's so many things that people don't know about. Not just, just things in general when we're talking about our food and the safety of our food here in this country. And, the government and USDA are playing games at our risk. And people aren't aware of that, especially if they're not in rural America where they actually see those debates going on or actually use the products or reject the certain products. People do not understand or know because they're not being told.
Right. And, I believe we're called to be salt and light in this world. And that means speak out, try to educate people, expose what's going on so that people can make a decision based on the facts. And I know that's what you're dedicated to, and that's what I'm dedicated to. And I just, can you imagine having somebody in Congress like Sheriff Mack or myself?
Oh, my goodness.
That is not afraid to speak the truth and educate the people. I mean, and look at Agenda 21. In so many ways, that is just, going through every fabric of all these agencies and county plans and city plans and all the regulations. And we have people in Congress that have never even talked about it. And it's just, it's mind-boggling. I think that is your primary role to be in Congress, is to educate people about what's happening and try to stop it. But yet when people are, they don't know it, they don't know about it, how can they even fight it if they don't know about it? So, that's like the Heritage area that, they tried to take over half of the 8th District. Half of this Congressional District was going to be taken over by the National Park Service. And it was all about Agenda 21 and that plan, and we worked to stop it and got it stopped, and yet our Congresswoman never even mentioned it, never did anything to get in the fight. But, so it's just, we're being destroyed because people will not stand up and expose this stuff.
Well, they're standing up for agendas and not for the Constitution and not for the people that are the ones that elected them, their constituents. You know, Bob, I'm going to kind of change the subject here because I think you might be able to give me a little bit of an update. I haven't had anyone talk to me for a little while on this, but I was down in the Sykeston area, so I was getting pretty close down there to Bird's Point. Do you know how things are going down there?
Well, I don't probably have the latest update. I did talk to the mayor there the other day about what's going on there. They're rebuilding the levee. They're trying to get it rebuilt to the 61.5 feet or right in that area to protect that farmland. So they are working to rebuild that area down there. But you know, they're very concerned about getting that work done down there.
Right. Well, I know there probably won't be any planting, not much planting going on yet this year, will there?
Well, yeah, there will be. They made a crop last year after that flood. Everybody that could, they were planting beans in there, and they made a good crop in there.
Oh, good. Well, for those, I'm going to update my listeners because I do have some new listeners. Bird's Point is where our Corps of Engineer blew a levee last year to save another town down below, and it just destroyed. Okay, remind me how much land that it destroyed there, Bob.
That was like 130,000 acres of farmland.
Okay. I couldn't remember if it was 130 or 230.
Yeah.
Okay, and so we've been really concerned because we're talking about really rich, good farmland, very profitable, productive farmland that we need to keep going. If we're going to get this economy turned around, we sure can't be destroying farmland. And so anyway, we're going into a break. You're listening to CSC Talk Radio. Your calls are always welcome at 877-895-5410. I'll ask that you keep it on topic today at 877-895-5410. What do you think? Do you think the morals of this country make a difference in how things are going? Or do you think religion and those things just don't have a part in it at all? Give us a call at 877-895-5410, and we will be right back.
Each month, the Pen is the official month